So always pretend you're an editor.
When I started Entertainment Weekly, a wise editor plopped down the ASME guidelines on my desk about all this stuff and said, Jarvis, it all comes down to one sentence. The reader must never be confused about the source of content, period. Let's be honest that we're trying to confuse the reader now. And that has an impact on our brands and ultimately on them. But I want to make a larger point here, which is I think that the problem here is that you're all following the wrong leader. Content is a shitty business. Pardon me for saying that here, right? Isn't that the whole message of your show at the beginning? You're following us over the cliff, you listicle sheeples, right? No, right? What should you be in? What should we in media be in as well? I would argue strenuously that we should be in the business of relationships. What's your profession? Public relations, right? It's not about trying to make messages in new ways. Messages are what are bullshit. Pardon me for saying this here, I should be apologetic. But I'm long gone anyway. I signed the paper years ago. Google, we should learn from Google. And I don't make that as a plug for my first book, What Would Google Do on Sale Now? That was a little native advertising.
Native advertising, Jeff. Native advertising.
Google recognized, the reason Google's in the phone business is because this is a signal generator about people. It tells Google where we are, who we are, where we're going, what we want to know. Google, as return, gives us relevance. It can give us that relevance because it has a relationship with us, not as a mass getting a message, but as individuals with a need. That is what every company, every one of your clients should be endeavoring to do, not to make more crappy content for the world. That's what media should be doing. Google knows where I live and where I work. My newspaper doesn't have the faintest idea what town I live in. So it gives me the same 400 pieces of content it gives everybody else. That's insane. So I don't think this is about trying to get in the content business and fool people with new ways to do messages. It's messages that are dead. It's content that it is an old Gutenbergian concept of filling a container. What we have the opportunity to do now is to have relationships with people so we can learn about them and their needs and give them relevance in return. That should be your goal.
So always pretend you're an editor.